What it is, what's up you guys? As a lot of you guys may know, I do live in New York, so a lot of you guys are curious as to how I'm able to afford it, because the rent is so high in New York, you guys. Like, I think I read somewhere that's like the highest it's ever been in New York, like currently, which is freaking ridiculous. Like, of course, when I freaking move here, the prices just like skyrocket or whatever. In this video, I kind of want to talk to you guys about how I'm able to afford to live in New York, how I'm able to afford my lifestyle, what do I do, how do I make money, because I know a lot of you guys want to know, like, what's your job, like, how do you make money, you know, how do you survive, how do you get paid. I'm here to just like kind of talk about it a little bit, kind of give you guys a little insights, a little behind the scenes of what I do for work as a full-time influencer. So I'm pretty sure that would be like my job title. Like, when people ask me what I do for a living, I kind of just say like, oh, I do social media, I do advertising, like, you know, I kind of just like beat around the bush, because I don't want to just straight up be like, yeah, I'm an influencer, then people automatically are like, oh, can I follow you, like, what's your handle, blah blah blah. Like, whenever I meet people, I'm just like, yeah, I just do social media, I just do, like, you know, I just do internet stuff. Like, I really don't like going into like too much detail, especially when I first meet people, because I don't know, it's kind of like not cringy. Like, I respect the hustle of all influencers, because we honestly work really hard and we put in a lot of hours. But whenever people are like, what do you do, I honestly don't know how to answer that. Pretty much we're just gonna talk about that. I kind of just want to cover the basis. I am born and raised in New York, but I was born in Queens, New York, and then I moved to Long Island when I was 7 years old. So if you guys are not from New York, Long Island is kind of like the suburbs of New York. I pretty much grew up in the suburbs. Like, my mom bought a house out there, we grew up out there, and then I decided to move back to the city when I was 23 years old. So currently I'm 24. I've been living in Brooklyn for the past year, and I decided to move to Brooklyn because I started to attend FIT, which, if you guys don't know, is Fashion Institute of Technology, which is the school I've been going to for the past 3 years. When I first moved out, I knew I wanted to live in one of the boroughs, so we were looking in Brooklyn, we were looking in Queens, because that's where I'm from and that's where my dad currently lives. He lives in Queens. We settled on Brooklyn because it was more accessible to not have a car living in Brooklyn, because there's a lot of public transportation in Brooklyn. Mind you, I did have a car back in Long Island, which I then sold to come live here, because to live here, pay rent, pay car insurance, pay gas, like, it was just too much. One thing that really helped me when I was moving into my tiny shoebox of an apartment is the skills I learned on Skillshare, who is the sponsor for today's video. So if you guys don't know what Skillshare is, it is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring online classes for anyone who loves learning, wants to explore their creativity and learn new skills. It's a great place to get inspired, learn new skills, and put them to work. Skillshare has tons of classes to choose from, which are perfect for when you're first moving out on your own, such as cooking classes, organization classes, and budgeting classes, plus a bunch of other ones that will match your goals and interests. One thing that I really wanted to work on when I first moved to Brooklyn was downsizing and organizing my space. So I decided to take the class How to Declutter and Organize Any Space. It's by the KW Professional Organizers. So they really teach you different skills on how to organize and declutter and get rid of a bunch of stuff, which is perfect for downsizing into my tiny shoebox of an apartment. So some added benefits to Skillshare are being ad-free, so you can stay in the zone while you're learning and not get distracted. They also offer new premium classes being launched each week, so there's always something new to discover. And their entire catalog is now available with subtitles in French, Spanish, German, and Portuguese. So if you have a skill that you've been interested in learning, Skillshare now has an offer. For the first 1,000 people who use the link in my description will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare, so you guys can try it out, because I honestly feel like there's something for everybody on there. So once again, thank you so much to Skillshare for sponsoring this video, and now let's get back into it. So now I've been living in New York for the past year, almost like a year and a half. Honestly, it hasn't been too bad, because when I moved, I decided to switch my job as well. So when I lived in Long Island, my job at the time was home care. I was a home health aide for 4 years, I believe, and I pretty much just took care of like elderly people, I took care of disabled people. So when I was doing that, I kind of was doing social media on the side as just like a side hustle, as like a hobby. I started doing YouTube. But when I moved to New York, I was just like, okay, now's my chance to start taking my social media more seriously. So at the time I was just doing YouTube and Instagram, but then I started doing like TikToks and like reels and things like that. So this is when I really started taking social media seriously, and I was like, okay, I want this to be my full-time job. So if you guys don't know, I live in my Brooklyn apartment with 2 roommates, and we have a 3-bedroom apartment, but I do have the biggest bedroom, which if you guys don't know is pretty tiny. It's kind of like a jail cell. I always joke around saying like my room is a jail cell, when really I've seen like much smaller rooms. I just feel like my room is really tiny. So yeah, the rent when we first moved here was $2,300. Was it? Yeah. Wait, no, I'm sorry. It was $2,200. Being that I had the biggest room, I paid the most rent. Out of that portion, I was paying about, I think, $760, and that's not including like Wi-Fi and like groceries and like, you know, all the other stuff that you have to pay for. I think every month I was paying close to like $900 or maybe like $850. I don't know, I don't remember. But since then my rent has increased because like everything is going up, you know, inflation, blah blah blah. Now my rent is currently $2,500, and I currently pay $860 a month for rent, and once again not including Wi-Fi and utilities and groceries. Yeah, so probably a month I pay like $1,000 in bills, which is super ass. But yeah, that doesn't even include like, you know, maintaining the lifestyle that I live, because girl, I be outside, I be eating out constantly, which is so bad. I love like going to Starbucks, I go like going to coffee shops, I like, you know, just like the lifestyle of living here. It gets pricey, you know what I mean? Like everything out here is super expensive. So yeah, that's kind of just like the layout of like kind of like my lifestyle, how much I spend. Obviously I spend on public transportation. I take Ubers here and there only if I'm going out at night and I don't feel safe taking the subways, but for the most part I be taking public transportation, girl. You can catch me on the subway, catch me on the buses, because I do not like spending money. I try to avoid spending money on things that I don't have to, you know. But you know, I'm a girl that likes clothes. It's part of my job. I like makeup, I like hair, I like, you know, I like all these different things. So that lifestyle starts to add up, and you know, I like to go out to make good content for you guys, and that's pretty much how I live. So I obviously don't like overspend on anything. I don't really like to buy like really expensive items. Like clothing wise, I do thrift a lot, I do Depop a lot, I love buying secondhand. I think probably the only thing I pay full price for is shoes and purses most of the time, but clothes, I buy everything secondhand. I try to get deals on everything that I can, because honestly girl, I don't like spending money like that. Now let's get into how I make the money to afford this lifestyle. My main job, I would say, is YouTube. So my biggest advice to anyone who wants to work from home or be an influencer is you have to kind of create your multiple means of income. I know everyone says that, whether you're an influencer or not, but just having like multiple ways of making money honestly helps a lot. Don't over rely on one just field of income to support yourself. What I mean by that is like my main job, I like to say, is YouTube. I like mainly say I'm a YouTuber, but being a YouTuber, there's multiple ways to make money on YouTube and also other social media. So to go more into that, there's 2 ways of making money on YouTube for me anyway. There's AdSense revenue, and then there's like sponsorship money, and then going beyond that, you could do like coffee, you could do Patreon, you could do you know, there's other like little ways of making money, which I don't do. Maybe I should do, I don't know. My biggest source of income is the sponsorships, mainly on YouTube. AdSense does help, but AdSense fluctuates. It's not a constant stream of income. AdSense revenue really depends on how many views you get and how many ads you put per video, and this like fluctuates obviously because you can't predict how many views a video is gonna get. I have kind of like a range of how much money to expect each month based on my views. I'm not a big YouTuber by any means. I don't really get like 1 million views on a video, you know, so I kind of know a range of what to expect. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention, AdSense only pays you once a month, so all the money that you made through ads for the entire month, you'll receive at the end of the following month. So it's just like pretty much one check that you get from YouTube itself, and then everything else is kind of like on the side. So let's talk about sponsorships a little bit more. So YouTube sponsorships, companies will reach out to you via email and say like, hey, like how much for a full dedicated video, or how much for a 4 to 5 minute section in one of your videos, which is what most YouTubers do. Like they'll just like put in a little sponsored portion of the video. Usually it's not the full video that is sponsored. So then you like provide your prices and you guys negotiate, and you know, you kind of come to a consensus of how much you are going to be making for the amount of work putting in with that sponsor. And also depending on what company, if it's a big company, if it's a small company, if you know, there's like different factors that go into finalizing a price for a sponsored video. Usually I kind of have like a minimum price for a certain time slot in my video. Sometimes the companies will be like, okay, well, we want like a get ready with me vid, or we want a day in my life vid. But a lot of companies will just leave it up to you, like, oh, whatever you decide would be a best fit for our brand or for our sponsorship, then you could choose. So depending on what company you work for, you could either get paid up front, you could get paid after sending them a draft of your video, or you could send them an invoice and they'll pay you later down the line. So some companies will even pay you like a month to 3 months after the video airs. It's very like up in the air. You really don't know, like it's not like a for sure income like when you're on an hourly, you know, wage or whatever. You get paid every single week or every 2 weeks. Like it's pretty much up in the air. You don't really know when you're gonna get paid with the sponsorship. So I try to do 2 sponsorships a week on YouTube. A lot of the wig videos I do, my Wig Wednesday videos, those are sponsored videos. I try to get one out every single week, so just so I have that stream of income every single week. Yeah, so if you guys are curious as to like why is Steph always posting wig videos, it's actually one of my main stream of incomes through sponsorships through YouTube. And then we go into TikTok and Instagram. So I do promo through my other social medias. So if you guys want me to promote one of your products, y'all can hit me up about that. I always say to email me. I don't really read DMs. I can't, there's just like too much junk in there. If you ever want to get in touch with me about a sponsorship, I do sponsor small brands also, as well as big brands, or I can promote your page or whatever you guys need promoting, I can do within a certain means. Some people like to promote like scams on there, and I don't do that. I don't like promoting scams. Let's start with TikTok sponsorships. So I am someone who's kind of new to TikTok, but I was able to grow to 150K. So there's constantly brands hitting me up. Also, make sure you guys have your emails in your bio or somewhere linked on your social media so brands can get in touch with you. I love TikTok sponsorships because they're so quick and easy. Because obviously a TikTok is only a minute or less of content, which is so much easier than like a 20-minute YouTube video, you know? So I love doing TikTok sponsorships. Like they're so easy, they're so fast, and they're really fun to do, and like they're so easy to edit and to send out, and to, you know, it's just like such a quick and easy process for a good payout, you know? For the amount of time that goes into it, it's kind of a higher payout than a YouTube video. Also, it's easier to like get views on TikTok. Like it's just like the algorithm of the TikTok platform is so much easier than the YouTube algorithm, and any given video can get like 1 million views, and like you don't even need that many followers on there to like just randomly go viral, you know? Yeah, so that has been a good source of income for me. I'm able to, you know, promote like clothing brands on there, makeup, hair, different products on there. But yeah, it's one of my favorite sources of income because it's fun, it's creative, it's quick, it's fast, it's easy. And lastly, Instagram. So Instagram, there's a bunch of different things you can do on there. There's story promos, there's Instagram post promos, there's collaboration posts, you know, there's a bunch of different things you can do on there. There's reels. I'm not the biggest Instagram promoter. I don't really work too much on my Instagram. Like I just like to post things that I like it's a little bit more curated. Like I'm very picky about what I post on my Instagram because I want it to fit a certain aesthetic, you know? Like I work really hard on my Instagram, so sometimes brands will like want to work with me, but I'm like, you don't really fit my Instagram page, so it really wouldn't work out. But yeah, I do offer a lot of small business promos on my Instagram. Like I'll, you know, take pictures of products or take pictures wearing products, style them, and then people pay me to post, to tag them, you know, kind of promote their brand a little bit. So that's another means of income. So I have a set price for story promos and for in-post promos. So my story promos are a lot cheaper because, you know, just snapping a pic of it and tagging the brand is way easier than like putting on a fit, finding a location, finding a photographer, doing a whole shoot, editing pictures, posting the pictures, coming up with a caption, tagging the thing. So like Instagram post, for me anyway, it's a whole production. But to post in a story is super quick, super easy, just little snap, tag the brand, whatever. Reels are very similar to TikTok. I don't get a lot of brands reaching out to me on Instagram. Like mainly it'll be for YouTube or TikTok because I think those are like my 2 biggest platforms at the moment. So like YouTube, for example, I have 200K. TikTok, I have 150K. On Instagram, I think I'm at 80K or 90K. So we're getting up there on Instagram. I do get paid by Instagram for posting reels as well. So Instagram has this thing called Reels Play. So when you post your content to Reels Play, they give you a small payout. Oh, TikTok does that too, but the TikTok one is so small, girl. I don't even consider that an income, girl. Like in a month maybe I'll make like $5 or $10. Like I don't even consider that a source of income. Like that's just chump change at this point. But Instagram pays a little bit better than TikTok for their content creators. So posting on Reels, maybe in a month I'll make $100, $200. If you're posting constantly on Reels, maybe you can make $300, $400, $500. I think the max that they allow me to make is $1,200, but you literally need 11 million views. Like you need to be raking in those views to even get like to $1,000 on there. So it's possible, it's just not really likely. I think the most I've made on there is $500 for 1 month of posting reels. So yeah, it's a good like little source of side money for sure. Then there's other things like my reselling business. So you guys may or may not know that I do have a website where I resell vintage goodies. I also resell some things from my own personal wardrobe, but it's mainly a Y2K shop where I buy and sell vintage Y2K stuff that I either thrifted or came from my personal wardrobe. I'm gonna show you guys actually, like all these boxes right here are actually items that are going to be on my store really soon. I might post them either this week or next week, but yeah, so that's another source of side income, is all the money that I make off my reselling business or like my little small like vintage business. So obviously that once again is not a consistent income. I only make money off of, you know, whenever I have a website drop, and depending on how many sales I make, it's very unsteady. Like you can't really predict. I mean, you can, you know, get like a little range of it, but you can't really predict how much money you're gonna make until like you make it, you know. You can make money on Amazon as well. So a lot of you guys may see like influencers promoting their Amazon storefront. Pretty much if you help Amazon make sales, they'll give you like a small percentage, like super small, like a 0.1% or maybe like 1% or something, like a super small percent. So you can make money off Amazon as well. And I don't know, girl, there's just like so many ways to make money on the internet these days, you know. Like I thought about like making an OnlyFans, but I don't know, I'm kind of a weenie when it comes to that. Like I tried to do it once, it didn't work out, I hated it, so I just like deleted the whole thing. But yeah, pretty much that is how I make money living in New York, just strictly being a content creator. And it's actually worked out really well for me. It is a very, very time consuming job, so I wasn't really fully able to like throw myself into it until I quit my last job. So it is something that takes up a lot of time. It is very mentally draining sometimes, because the more you grow, the more hate you kind of attract. At first you start out with all these supporters, and then you start getting all the stinkies who like kind of just like talk shit about you and just want to make you feel bad about yourself, you know. So it is very draining to see like the negative comments and the negative people who don't really want to support you and just want to put you down. But all the positive comments kind of make up for it, like people saying that I inspire them and, you know, they want to be like me or dress like me, or like I feel like that's super sweet, and that kind of makes up for all the stinky comments. So if you guys have supported me at any point in my influencer journey, obviously I owe it all to you guys. Like you guys are the reason I am living my dream right now. It has always been a dream of mine to have my own place, even though I have roommates, but have my own place and live in the city and be a city girl. So, you know, it's just like amazing that every day like my hobby is my job and it's a source of income, and I'm able to be creative and share my life with you guys. So honestly, it's such a blessing. Yeah, thank you guys for that, for supporting me. If you guys are interested in starting your influencer journey, leave your ads down below. I'll give you guys a follow. I'll check you guys out, because if you support me, obviously I'm gonna support you right back. Duh. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope I was able to help and maybe give you guys some pointers on starting your influencer journey. I love you guys so much, and I will catch you guys in the next one.